Hello and welcome to Apex Reviews. Today we're going to be doing some hiking and some boating out in Denver, Colorado. Our first hiking adventure was at the Flatirons in Boulder, Colorado. The hike wasn't too bad, and there was definitely some wildlife to see on the way. It helps if you can get a ride from your friend. The trail was somewhat paved, a little rocky, but easy to navigate. I suggest going on a sunny day. We went on a day where there was some clouds and rain, and this was pretty much the extent of our view. Next was learning how to foil. We found a captain who took us out to Grand Lake on his 23-foot Malibu MXZ. Foiling wasn't too difficult. The key here is keeping that forward pressure. It's a pretty unique experience, and regardless of how choppy the water was, the foil ride was always smooth. Denver weather is always changing, so keep an eye out for those rain clouds. If you're interested in chartering a boat and learning how to foil, leave a comment down below, and I'll send you the captain's information. Once we'd mastered foiling, it was time for another hike. We headed out to St. Marie's Glacier. Bring money because it's $20 to park. This hike was a lot different than the Flatirons. It starts off with a pretty steep and rocky incline. Slow and steady did it, and the thin air will get to you, so I suggest taking breaks. But the weather was perfect. This glacier-fed lake was cold, but it was crystal clear. You can't stop at the lake, or you can keep hiking around and actually get on the glacier. This is the perfect spot for a picnic, or maybe just a nice cold beer. For those of you who are trying to ski or snowboard at least one day out of every month, this is a great spot for you. You can head up as high as you want. The views here are amazing. It's also pet friendly. Sometimes the climb down is harder than the climb up. That was the case here. You gotta watch your step on the way down. These rocks can get a little tricky when you're trying to descend. Once you get out of the rocks and into the trail, it's a little easier. For this week-long adventure, my family of 5 rented a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The ride was smooth and quiet, it got pretty good gas mileage, and the Apple CarPlay really came in handy. Next on the list was Estes Park. I suggest getting there early. There's a long line to get through the gate. You may need reservations. Once you're in, though, it's absolutely breathtaking. We chose to hike Bear Lake. It starts off at 9,475 feet and heads up from there. This hike was a little easier. You pass multiple lakes on the way up. As you can see, you don't need any special equipment. Just a good pair of shoes and a lot of energy. This bridge was kind of fun to walk across. We didn't see too much wildlife though. Maybe a few fish, a couple of trout swimming around. Once you're at Bear Lake, I definitely recommend sitting down and enjoying the view. Maybe even crack open a cold one. As we were sitting there, we were watching some people rappel down this cliff face. Headed down was pretty easy. Just make sure to give way to the people coming up the hill. Once we were done at Bear Lake, we headed over to Claire's Restaurant and Bar. There's some shops in the town, but that restaurant was real nice. We closed out our trip by headed out to Grand Lake. This was one of my favorite places. There are a ton of activities, restaurants, pizza, ice cream. You can do some paddle boarding, kayaking, or many other sports. We rented a kayak for a few hours. It was plenty of time. The water was cold, but it felt refreshing. This was a great town to just hang out in for the day. I definitely recommend going here. If you're headed out to Denver, check out the Flatirons. Grand Lake was a blast, and I can hook you up with a captain. St. Marie's Glacier, Estes Park, it's always a good time. We'll definitely be headed back for more of what Denver has to offer. Thanks for watching.